What's going on, you guys? Coming to y'all. I just got news on a ban list. Haven't checked it out yet. We just got the cog on our third account talking about how degenerate some of these decks were. We finally have a ban list out of nowhere. Konami being random. Wow. We're about to get into it, man. Forbidden limited list and skill balance. Let's see how accurate my predictions were to the ban list we have. Let's check it out. About the skill rebalancing. Let's jump on the skill rebalancing. Dude, I'm excited. No mortal. Grit! A hit grit! This skill will be given the harder activation condition in order to reduce the ability of offensive decks to attack without using resources for defense. No! Baggy Sleeves! No! No, my Baggy Sleeves! I knew it, though. I knew it. I mean, I can't say I didn't see it coming. This skill will be given a harder activation condition as more decks are now able to special summon level 5 higher monsters multiple times since the addition of the skill. No! I'm gonna miss you, Baggy Sleeves. I'm gonna be one of those guys. I'm just gonna keep playing Baggy Sleeves, dude. Everyone else gets to do it, but I haven't. Nah, bro. I gotta play pretty near Baggy Sleeves some more, man. I want to enjoy this skill before it's gone. No, but they did hit. No mortal can resist. This skill consistently devastates graveyard-based strategy, so we're adding an activation condition. Knew it. Obvious. Keep telling you guys, no mortal hit was gonna be obvious. I know most of y'all agreed, but we already knew no mortal was gonna get hit. We already knew no mortal was gonna get hit. Transcendent Crystals. The skill will be given a harder activation condition as more cards that can be activated in the graveyard have been added to the game since the addition of the skill. We all pretty much said that. Now we're gonna see the implementation of it. Heavy Starter. Did not tell y'all that Heavy Starter was broken. This skill's probability will be lowered as it currently allows players to get certain cards in their starting hand too easily. No, what? They're nerfing Heavy Starter. Actually, that might be a. I'm telling you, that might be a ghost nerf. I mean, that might be a ghost buff because remember when I was telling y'all that for certain decks that Heavy Starter would be so good unless they lowered the probability for the skill. This might actually be a buff. And like I said, I think it's gonna be a buff because it lowers the chance of you drawing 3 of your level 5 or higher monsters. So if that's the case, I think it's going to be even more powerful for other decks as well, not just Blackwings. It might hurt Blackwings, but it might be more useful for other decks, like Malefics, for example. So we will tune in to that skill specifically. Fusion Time. This skill will be strengthened to give elemental hero decks more strategic options. You mean like now? Konami? You mean like, with the OTK hero deck, you can give them more strategic options with Fusion Time? I mean, they don't run grit, so that's a good thing. So I could see that. Deckmaster effect, Cyber Commander. We are adding an effect that lets you draw a Cyber Commander, machine type dark, so that players can strategically increase their monsters' attack and defense. I haven't really looked more into this card's effect. I'll probably look into it later on, because I don't remember this card's effect, so definitely will look into this card. Updated skills. I didn't talk about grit, but I did talk about on the streams that grit was a possible curveball that Konami would go after, and they actually hit it. So that's an interesting hit right there. If you have 4,000 or more life points at the start of the turn, your life points will not fall below 1. Works only one time only. When this skill is applied, you can only special summon 1 monster until the end of your next turn. Okay, so you can only special summon 1 monster until the end. You can only special summon 1 monster to the end of your next turn. Okay, so if someone activates your grit, you can only special. So you're limited to only special summoning 1 monster. So this hurts Dragoonides. This will hurt. They use grit. This is going to hurt Lunalights. This is going to hurt Lunalights. This is going to hurt Heroes. This is going to hurt Thunder Dragons. Wow, dude. Actually, this is a good hit because now people are going to have to play different skills unless they have a deck that can just special summon once and OTK off that one special summon. I like the hit, Konami. In very creative hit. I like it. None of us expected this. I don't want to hear it. None of us expected this change. I agree. I like this. I like this, Konami. You did a good job on this hit. Like it. Baggy Sleeves. If your level 7 or higher monster is destroyed by battle, your normal draw in the next draw phase becomes 2 cards. So instead of level 5, now it's level 7 or higher. I still think DDDs can use this. DDDs can still use Baggy Sleeves because most of the time they're going level 7 or higher. The only level 6 that they really have, fusion-wise, is Genghis. Everything else is level 7 or higher, if I'm not mistaken. So DDDs can still use Baggy Sleeves. Everything else, like Thunder Dragons, can't because you need to either Synchro Summon, get out Levianita that gets destroyed by battle, Duo that gets destroyed by battle. The other Thunder Dragons will not activate the Baggy Sleeves. So that does change the dynamic of playing that deck unless with Baggy Sleeves, unless you're going to have to just play it with a different skill, which people are already playing with Grit, which Grit is also in there. So this hurts Thunder Dragons a lot, so yeah. Can be used when your life points are at least 2,000 less than your opponent. Change out monster in your opponent's grave for the skull sword. The skill can only be used once per duel. So me and a few people in our community has been talking about how to nerf this. One side talked about 2,000 less than your opponent, and then one side was once per duel. But we have both of them in one skill, which makes Nomoto even harder to use. I could definitely see Dark Magicians still playing this because they run Dark Magic Curtain. They do run Dark Magic Curtain, so they can easily throw this off. But if they don't have Dark Magic Curtain in the starting of the duel, they can really, it becomes very situational for the deck. And we haven't even looked at the ban list yet, so we don't even know if they would even use this anymore. They might even go back to Sealed Tombs, because Sealed Tombs is a lot easier to use than the Morphings Resist now. So this is really going to change how people are going to run this skill. I think people... Yeah, I think Nomoto. I think people are gonna stop playing Nomoto now. People might go back to Sealed Tombs, because you can use Sealed Tombs. So this is gonna be interesting how the meta's gonna shift around these nerfs. Can be used from turn 3 and onward by sending 1 to 3 cards in your hand to the graveyard. Choose the same number of Crystal Beast monsters from your deck as the number of cards you sent from the hand to the graveyard and place them in the spell trap cards. This skill can be used once per turn and twice per duel. Oh, so they gave it a delay. I kind of disagree with this because now this hurts this hurts Crystal Beast decks. Konami, this is a really bad nerf on Transcendent Crystals. They should have just increased the requirement to 7 Crystal Beasts. So Crystal Beast decks can still run Transcendent Crystals, and Crystons have to use 7 Crystal Beasts, which can make the deck a lot less consistent, even with 30 cards. Because now they can just draw on the Crystal Beast cards most of the time. And then if you nerf the Crystal Beast, that makes it even harder for them to be more consistent. And there's the problem right there. I don't like it because it ruins Crystal Beast stacks. Because if you ever get more Crystal Beast support, no one's gonna want to play it. You just came out with a new box with Crystal Beast support, and you nerf their skill. Come on, Konami. Kind of disagree with the nerf, but hey, tell me what y'all think. Heavy Starter, the skill text will remain the same, yeah, because they're just going to lower the probabilities. Fusion Time can be used when your life points increase by 1,000. You return 1 card from your hand to your graveyard. From your hand to your deck, sorry. Add 1 polymerization to your hand from outside of your deck. Then you can add 1 level 4 or lower element of hero normal monster to your hand from your graveyard. This skill can only be used once per duel. I'm kind of mixed feelings on this. I like the fact that you could search an element of hero, but it's from your graveyard, which kind of sucks. And it has to be it could be a normal monster, which means you could go into like Alias or something, or a Gemini element of hero of any other kind that I can't even think about right now. But it is a Master of Fusion with an extra effect, so you can use that extra effect to gain an advantage. So I think Alias is going to be the primary elemental hero normal monster that you're going to use. So you probably want to play something like Neo's Fusion or Red Eye's Fusion, and then you can activate the skill, play it because you can play Red Eyes with Cosmic, and then get the skill off that same turn, and then go into another fusion. So interesting. It is pretty interesting how this could work out. I think it's still going to be. We will see in the future. I don't see anything competitive right off the bat. I could definitely see people playing it just as a Master of Fusion, though. You know, as a Master of Fusion replacement if they don't actually have the skill for it, or if they want to skill farm on the certain characters. So, it's still pretty good. I think it's still going to see some use. But using the secondary effect would probably be more for fun decks. I don't see competitive-wise for the second effect. Deck Master Effect, Cyber Commander. If you have Cyber Commander on the field, the attack and defensive warrior monster and machine type monster you control increases by 300. In addition, instead of conducting your normal draw, you can add Cyber Commander to your hand from your deck. Ooh, so it searches just to give it the increase, but why would you want Cyber Commander on the field? It just seems like too much of a meme, Konami. Fun deck and all, but I guess it's the beginning of something. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're just trying to see what players can do with this skill, and they can increase the power of the skill over time. But yeah, guys, predicted no mortal can resist transcendent crystals. They did not hit Shadow Game. Konami, what are you doing? Where's Shadow Game at? Where the heck is Shadow Game? You want to hit my Baggy Sleeves, but you don't want to hit Shadow Game. Dude, no. That's not good. We have to deal with Shadow Game for another 2 to 3 months. Why me, man? You want to hit Transcendent? You want to hit every starter in Baggy Sleeves, but not... Oh my god, dude. Whoop, 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3, man. I told y'all they were going to miss something, man. Forbidden and Limited list. Let's get to it. Desynchro. We are limiting this card as using multiple cards to card repeatedly. Special suddenly, fortunately, water enables players to draw many times. Understandable. Understandable. The FDK Fortune Lady deck. Understandable. Get that crap up out of here. Especially in COG. Especially in COG. Get that up out of here. Not much to say, but there's a Fortune Lady FDK that runs around running Desynchro, and they even specifically said it with Fortune Lady Water. It was supposed to draw way too many times. It's degenerate combo. I agree. Cyberstein! Finally! Finally! Yes! Alright. We are limiting this card as they allow players consistently in duels without giving their opponent a chance to fight back while special summoning several powerful fusion summon monsters within a turn. Yes, Cyberstein. Yes, sorry, Konami. You said it. My sentiments exactly, man. Cyberstein 1. We all called it. I haven't seen anyone who's ever disagreed with Cyberstein. We called this also in the ban list prediction video. It was obvious. Yes, dude. Cyberstein. Booyah. This is a surprise. Element Saber Malo to 1. Konami, can you stop playing around? Konami, stop playing around. Just hit the invocation engine. I hope when we see limited rank 3, we hope we just see the invocation engine and just hit the invocation engine. Dude, no need to hit Malo, man. Decks that use this card have a consistently high winning percentage over the course of many months. Therefore, we are limiting this card to prevent the metagame becoming stale. I understand they're trying to make sure Element Saber invokes are unplayable, understandable. But like, I'm kind of mixed feelings about Element Sabers getting hit as amount as they do, because it's not the Element Saber engine that's winning games, it's the Invoke engine winning games. Just get rid of the Invoke engine. I mean, I guess they're URs, but still, man, make it to where they're playable, but they're not as broken with this deck as it should be. But we won't see Element Saber invokes anymore, because you have to either play Malo or Cocytus. So which one? Still a good hit. Unnecessary, but still a good hit. Limited 2. But finally gonna get a hit on Dark Magician. Limited to 2. Only 2 cards from the Limit 2 list can be included in your deck. Magician of Dark Illusion. This card will be limited to prevent Dark Magician decks from using other powerful cards in conjunction with this card. In their speak, they're trying to say, no more Treacherous Trap Hole, no more Kiteroid, no more Clash, no more Econ for Dark Magician. No more. You can run Rod. I'm guessing we don't see Rod, so instead of hitting Rod, they're going to hit Magician of Dark Illusion. That makes sense. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Because now, if they're going to run semi-limits, they can't run Illusion. So you don't have to. So if they don't have navigation first turn, that makes them open for an OTK, even if they chain a card, because they're less likely to have Illusion. Does give him love to. I was expecting nothing but a love tap on Dark Magician regardless. Smart play on their part. I like it. In Magician Dark Illusion, hey, I'll take it. Vision Hero Vion is back on the ban list. This card will be limited to prevent hero decks from having access to powerful limited 2 cards. So no more. Sorry, heroes, you can't play Stretch. You can't play Econ anymore. Can't play Kiteroid. You can't play Trunade. You're gonna OTK. You're gonna be limited in what you're doing. This is because the hero deck in the meta has been OTKing way too easily. With Grit, now they can't use Grit or Vion with semi-limits. Or semi-limits, so. Well, you could use 1 Vion with the semi-limit, which you can do. I think that's the way they're going to go. 1 Vion, because all you need is 1 Vion anyway. So, yeah, 1 Vion with the semi-limit. They can still do it. They could really still do it. But it's not preventing hero decks from accessing the powerful limited 2 cards. They are still going to be able to access them, guys. Don't worry. They can run a one of a Tretch or Econ or whatever. They can still do that. Remember when I told y'all they need to hit Cristrons? They were going to hit Cristrons. They hit Cristrons. Not the card I was expecting them to hit, but they hit something, and that's a step in the right direction. Crystron Rion. Decks that use this card have had a consistently high winning percentage over the course of many months. Therefore, we are limiting this card to prevent the metagame becoming stale. They're saying Cristrons have been in the meta for a long time, and I 100% agree. Because they consistently float, they consistently just completely keep coming out of nowhere, and then they can run semi-limits at the end. This will slow the deck down. Because now they can't run semi-limits unless they want to force using 1 Rion. If they run 2 Rion, you don't have to worry about semi-limits anymore. Good hit. Very good hit. Now we're on to the limited 3, and I'm already not liking what I'm seeing. Konami. Come on. Thunder Dragon Dark. This card will be limited along with Gold Sarcophagus to prevent Thunder Dragon decks from summoning many monsters in 1 turn. Yeah. This card will be limited along with Thunder Dragon Dark to prevent Thunder Dragon decks from summoning many monsters in 1 turn. Understandable. Very understandable, but all they had to do. I mean, I guess Radiance is Raiden and Brigade are new. I guess they didn't want to touch the cards yet. Thunder Dragon Dark. But I think there's more powerful cards that needs to be hit other than Thunder Dragons. I think Thunder Dragons could get cut in a few different ways compared to how the game is now. I understand that Thunder Dragons are broken and they needed to hit, but this wasn't the way I was thinking they'd go. If anything, not hit 2 cards. They should just put 1 of them on the limited 2 list. Yeah, I kind of... And then they put Sharp... I'm done, dude. You're just gonna nerf Thunder Dragons to the ground. But you barely still kind of barely touch invokes. You don't want to hit Alistair, but you're gonna sit here and destroy Thunder Dragons. Konami, oh my god. They were doing so good on the skills, but the cards. I like the Cyberstein. The Cyberstein and the D-Synchro were good. The Malo was iffy. I agree with the Magician of Dark Illusion. With the Crystron Rion, they could have picked a different card for it. I think Rion wasn't the problem here. Impact was. Even though they still hit him, they're still good, but I have mixed feelings. Shiranui Squire. Decks that use this card have had a consistently high winning percentage over the course of many months. Therefore, we are limiting this card to prevent the metagame from becoming stale. Understandable that they were going to hit Squire. I had a feeling if they were going to hit Shiranui once again, they were going to hit their main playmakers, so the deck doesn't become as broken, and we go on to play other meta decks instead of Shiranui's. So I do agree with that at least. So now you can't play Shiranui, you can't play Cyclone and Squire in the same deck. That is one thing you can't do. But that's it. Like, I mean, well, you can't play Gold Sark and Shiranui in the same deck too. That's also a good notable thing to think about as well. Can't play Gold Sark and Shiranui Squire in the same deck, mainly with the level log builds. Charge of the Light Brigade. This card will be added to the limited 3 list as it is widely used in decks that utilize graveyard cards. That's... Why didn't you just hit Charge, man? Put Charge on the limited too, Konami. That's all you had to do. The problem with Thunder Dragons, honestly, was the skill, Grit, and Baggy Sleeves, which I agreed on, and them using semi-limits. Other than that, it wasn't that bad. Like, yeah, they'd spam, but once you got rid of that spam, it was kind of easy to break them down after that. It got kind of easy to break them down after that. All you had to do was hit Charge to 2. They could have put so many other cards on here, but they chose not to. And now we still have Invoke Shadow Game is going to become meta, I think. I'm going to predict that Invoke Shadow Game is going to become meta. I mean, it's been getting cucked lately, but Shadow Game is going to become more apparent because now graveyard-based decks are able to start milling all they want. Even though Charge Brigade is hit, they are able to mill all they want now, so I think Shadow Game is going to become one of those skills. It's going to become one of those go-to skills. Sad to say, it's going to become one of those main go-to skills. And that is not a good thing to hear. That and maybe Seal Tombs might come back. Because graveyard-based decks will have nothing to stop them for real, other than, like I said, Seal Tomb. Maybe No Moil can still see play in some decks, but I think it's pretty much almost just not going to be as good, close to be as good as it is now. So I think people are going to look in other skills for how to play different decks. I think Shadow Game is going to be a big play skill for the meta. I really think it is, and it's going to suck. And it's going to suck, man. It's Konami didn't take immediate action when they should have. I give this ban list a 5 out of 10. I love the skill list, but this I give it about a 5 out of 10. They hit some cards that are kind of obvious, but then they kind of hit the wrong cards for certain decks, which kind of left me to where, Konami, you're going hard after the wrong decks. That's the problem. But hey, I might be wrong, guys. We can have the conversation when I stream tomorrow. I'll stream tomorrow, Monday, on 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will upload this in a little bit. So this is a Sunday night, so I will be uploading this in the morning, Monday morning. So definitely tell me what y'all think of the ban list. They hit some cards I didn't even fathom they were going to hit. I think they were just, I don't know. Maybe some other people might actually think it's better than I feel, but 5 out of 10 on the forbidden list. I'm sorry. I am sorry, man. They're going. I think the main thing to take away from this, they're going after too many of the wrong decks. They're hitting, like I said, Thunder Dragons. I don't think they should have gotten nerfed to the ground like that. I think they should have made. I think hitting Invoke should have been their main thing. This ban list. Their main hit should have been Invokes. They didn't do it though. Invokes are still going to be in the meta. And Shadow Game is probably going to be the skill they're going to use from now on. But we'll see. Appreciate y'all listening and watching the Bandless Review. Hit y'all up on the next one. Shopper 200 signing out.